Synthara. What? Hello, this is Mike Hawk from the Small Wiener Club. We received your application and regret to inform you that we have to reject your request. The photos you attached clearly show the massive size is far above our requirements. I mean, come on, man, how do you even walk? Best of luck to you in the future. Signed, Mike Hawk. Gia, what the hell?
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Purrely and Voiceless Voice. Starting off with the Lily searching for the My Friend Purrely. My Friend Purrely will surely get negated by the Ash Blossom. No, it will not. Now, the E. Purrely Nor wants to be the direct chain link to a quick play spell, and I guess that's when we're holding our Ash. If you hold the Ash instead for chain link block in the E. Purrely Nor, that could possibly be a better idea. As you can see right here, Ash Blossom, chain link block. The Nor now cannot suck up the delicious memory, nor will not be able to set the trap from the deck to go into the X Purrely Nor, the main boss monster. Triple tactics talent, we have to go for the draw 2. If they draw 2, you know they're desperate, and boy, the Ash Blossom was wonderful. It worked. Chainlink blocked the Nor, didn't have another quick play, and now they're screwed. Now, the E. Purrely Nor will be drawing just one card here. We're going to add a Maxi on top of this. Voiceless Voice isn't as affected by Maxi as other decks are. It does minimal special summoning. We're going to attempt to add 2 cards from our deck to our hand, a Ritual Monster and a Ritual Spell. Ash Blossom, negate that +1. And now we're going to follow up with the Nadir Servant, locking us out of the extra deck, but we're sending an Entis to then pop a card on the field. Going for that My Friend Purrely, we're not going to finger it with the Call by the Grave. Maximus banishing the Entis to come forth and summon. Maximus now sending 2 cards from both players' extra decks. So had we fingered the Entis, we not only would have protected our My Friend Purrely, we would have stopped the search for Maximus, which was public knowledge. We knew that this was going to be summoned. And now they have a Garura to draw a card. They have another Entis to force out the Call by the Grave. So we're going to finger the Garura. No draw for you. Okay? Let's see what we go off from here. We have the E. Purrely Nor ready. Low is full combo. And we can't use this in permanent since we newly drew it. The Ash Blossom has already been hard activated this turn. Setting up the Barrier of the Voiceless, which will be searching for Saphira. Saphira is going to be discarding to send from the deck a Ritual Spell to then search for our Skull Guardian. Now Saphira is going to banish from the graveyard, come forth and summon our Skull Guardian from the hand, tributing off the Maximus and not the Low. Low could have reborn from the graveyard, but we're under Max C, so we didn't want to give too much special summoning. As we have our Skull Guardian searching from the deck, our Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph, wiping out the E. Purrely Nor with no My Friend Purrely nor Field Spell to trigger. They're not going to be plussing off of that. Now the Odd Eyes Pendulum will be searching for a Ritual Spell during the end phase as it adds itself back during the end phase. Now what are our disruptions? Completely untargetable field. We can't attack into the Low. We can only attack into the Skull Guardian. And if we destroy the Skull Guardian by card effect, we're going to summon another one from the deck. It is an Omni Negate, and we have the Savaris to protect us from being targeted if the Low were to leave the field some way. Because otherwise, it's a redundant effect where we can't even target. So we have Nibiru, we have the Skull Guardian, and those are our only disruptions. Two disrupt. What are we negating with that Skull Guardian? So negate and destroy. Purrely randomly off the top of our deck, completely whiffing the effect. That is no good. Ash Blossom and the Purrely. This is not going to banish on summon. So what's the point of this? The Lil Knight cannot target the monsters, cannot banish the barrier because we didn't link off the Purrely into a link 1 first before summoning the Lil Knight. Yeah, we're out. We're out of here. Damn. Voiceless Voice set up with that protection of the barrier being completely untargetable, screwing them up. Let's hop into game 2. My Friend Purrely is here. We have no disruption whatsoever. Let's speed this up. We don't have the Ash Blossom to now chainlink block the Sleepy. So let's come to us a Leap, set up the Sleepy, summon from the deck a Purrely, randomly come to us off the top of the deck. And we're going to add a Max C on top of that. Sure, why not? Give them the C. Sure. Draw again. Another Max C. We have a Droll and Lockbar, which could turn off our Max C. And those are our 6 cards drawn. We're going to start this off by Ritual Summoning into, holy moly, Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph. Is this going to be helping us in any way whatsoever? This is stating that each time your opponent special summons a monster, From the extra deck, they're going to be inflicted 300 damage onto them. And then when your opponent activates a spell, card, or effect, you could put this into the Pendulum Zone, negate that effect, and then special summon an Odd Eyes monster from your extra deck. Okay. There's no spell to really activate. I mean, they could trigger the effect of the My Friend Purrely or the Purrely Street. Low is here. Low is targetable. Now, it really sucks about Low getting negated, which he's not getting negated because the Savaris is going to negate the negate. Negate is that her effect of being able to be used for the full ritual summon cost, that also gets negated if you get Veiled or Impermanenced. She's resolving, set up into the back row, a barrier. We're going to spin that barrier right here, right now, because it was making all the monsters completely untargetable. Diviner doubling up as removal, sending an Entis to pop a back row card. We're now going to X Purrely Noir no longer be unaffected as we use up our last material to spin a card in the field back. We're going to suck up that delicious plump, wiping out the Purrely, leaving up the X Purrely Noir, further show conning into a Dynamundo. Dynamundo could, on summon, return a ritual monster back into the deck to spin a card in the field back in the deck as we just scoop it up. I mean, draw 6 on top of drawing with the Max C. We drew, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 3 special summons. Ain't no way. And just like that, let's take this into game number 3 where Voiceless Voice for the first time is going to go first. Setting up with the barrier making the hand even better, searching for Saphira. Saphira searching for a ritual monster, plus sending a ritual spell from the deck to the grave, grabbing our Skull Guardian main boss monster. Low activating to set up into the back row our Radiance of the Voiceless Voice, another form of disruption. We are ritual summoning, sending the Low to come forth and summon our Skull Guardian, which will trigger the Low to summon onto the field. Chainlink block on the Skull Guardian. Oh, well, I guess we're not doing that. As we search our deck, they probably would have used Ash Blossom on something else, if not being used on the Skull Guardian, which at this moment, Skull Guardian does not have a negate. Now it has a negate with Low on the field. We're going to use the Radiance to return a ritual spell to come forth and summon a Sarvis, which will turn into a form of disruption if the opponent activates a card. We're going to search for a Maximus, sending a Garura with Nadir Servant to draw a card. Maximus Banish, come forth as we send from our extra deck some more cards. We're going to be sending a Kit, draw 1, return a card back into the deck from our hand, as we also have Herald of the Arclight searching our deck for a ritual spell or monster. Return back our Maxi since we already have 2 copies. And we're going to use the Ritual spell again, Ritual Summoning over the Maximus into a Sarvis. We'll count the disruptions in a bit. And just like that, what do we have here exactly? The Sarvis is not a hard once per turn. So if your opponent would special summon a monster, you can negate the summon. And that's not going to count for an effect to special summon. It has to be an inherent special summon, which Purrely does not really do. So it's not going to be so good against Purrely. It could stop something like, if they try to Zeus you, that'd be a good play. And the other Sarvis could summon a second copy of Sarvis. So we have negate a special, negate any card effect, pop 2 to 3 cards on the field with the Radiance, and we have our Max C. So 4, Disruption, and the Call by the Grave. Let's go. The whole field is completely untargetable. The monsters, that is. Cannot target the monsters. Lily, come to me, my friend Purrely. We're thinking on when is the Skull Guardian going to negate. Skull Guardian not negating the summon of the E Purrely Noir. Sarvis cannot negate the summon, as I was saying. E Purrely Noir discarding a card to target a card in the field. What are we doing exactly? We're activating the effect to target 1 card your opponent controls, or up to 2 if this has a purely sleepy memory as a material. So you're targeting the barrier and the Radiance to wipe it out. Now, if the Skull Guardian activates to negate and destroy the E Purrely Noir, that's going to trigger the My Friend and the field spell to summon onto the field and add all our quick play spells in the graveyard back to our hand. That's exactly what we're doing. We are negating. We're not going to let that happen. We're going to chain the Purely Pretty Memory. We're going to chain link block it with the Radiance of the Voiceless Voice, wiping out the My Friend Purrely and the Purrely Street. Thus, you're now not going to get anything if your Nor dies, as it does. Goodbye to your Nor. We have absolutely nothing. Off the top 3, Maxi no good, Infinite Impermanence no good, Sleepy Memory is something we could use here if we play a second copy of the Nor. Purrely Leap, returning up to 3 monsters in the graveyard back into the deck we go. Activate the Purrely again, Sarvis cannot negate this as we summon our E Purrely Noir. E Purrely Noir cannot attack into the Low. So we went to the battle phase going, hold up, why can't I attack? Well, the barrier is protecting the Low from being attacked into, and thus we can't swing into the bigger monsters because we'll die. So we scoop. Now, let's say we did get to battle. We summon a Zeus. Zeus then gets negated by the activation of the Sarvis, and Sarvis banishes, negates the summon, and returns back to the hand to then be used again to negate a card effect that would target one of your monsters. So just like that, Voiceless Voice 2-1 victory against Purrely. Spright red, special summon our blue. I choose you, come to me, Jet. If your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you then get to use the caddy to summon from your extra deck a Herald of Arc Light. Now, Herald of Arc Light would be able to negate the evenly matched, but no carrot, no Herald of Arc Light. And by the way, Herald of Arc Light plus the double cross is a double negate in the same turn. You could reborn it after negating anything. We're in big trouble. To battle phase we go. Here's the panic. We have no carrot in sight. We're gonna double cross, reborn the red, sure, to then have to banish it. We're just attaching it. Okay, we're attaching it to the Melfi of the Forest, banishing everything but our Spright Elf. Now we're going to follow up with the Ice Jade Cradle, adding an Ice Jade monster from our deck to our hand, as we then have the Agarine to discard a water to summon, summoning a token onto the field to now make a level 10 Synchro. Now using Max C afterward. Okay, sure. It would have otherwise been a double special summon to draw 2 and draw 3 on the Synchro summon. We're going to finger that Max C. Now, because we're in the main phase, Elf protects the Max C from the finger. Reborn the Max C. Always got to think about that with Spright Elf on the field. If you have Max C in your own Spright Elf, make sure you're activating Max C in the main phase, not the draw phase or standby phase. Lancia is now here. Now, Lancia triggers off of the opponent's special summoning monsters. Otherwise, it's going to do something if it leaves the field. So if your opponent doesn't special and it doesn't leave the field, it does nothing. We're going to use the Revealer, discard a card, summon from the deck a Mirror Mage, as we then make the Aryan Post, Serpent of the Goatee, which will trigger the Mirror Mage to search our deck. Searching for our deck, as we also on summon, banish a level 6 or lower fish monster from the deck. Ice Barrier Goatee, what is this? We banished the Paces. We have Freezing Chains being searched for with the Mirror Mage being sent. Reborn the Revealer from the graveyard, now ending our turn. What exactly did we set up here as we reborn the Paces that was banished? The Paces has the effect of what? You could banish this card you control, blah, blah, blah. During your opponent's main phase, if this was summoned this turn, it was, you could activate to Synchro a Fish Synchro using this card you control. So we have a level 8 Fish Synchro potentially, level 6 Fish Synchro. We have an 8 to 12. What are the fish synchros that we could summon here? Not a fish, not a fish, not a fish. Where's the fish? Fish, here, level 8 fish. This will, during your opponent's standby phase, during the damage step, do something, so that's trash. The level 8, Ascan. This is the one we're going to summon. On Synchro Summon, target a fish you control, and one card your opponent controls, banish them. So we have a disruption through the Paces, and otherwise, if we special summon, the Lancia will summon an Ice Barrier onto the field. Let's go. Are you ready? Elf is going to be reborning the blue. Blue trigger, also triggering the Lancia. Lancia got to summon from the deck. Nothing is the Ash Blossom negates. Now, the Lancia could activate again on a different special summon, as the Ash does not negate the entire card, just that one effect, which is activatable twice per turn. So we'll just do it again. We're now going to activate the Paces to Synchro, not into the one card banish, but into a white or a whale. This on summon, I believe, is a Raigeki. When Synchro Summon, destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls, wiping out the Elf and the Spright Blue, but keeping up the Max C. As the Arena Post searches for a Snopus from the deck, sure. We're going to be triggering the Lancia again, getting negated again. Second negate on Lancia. And just like that, it's not able to activate again on a special summon. So Lancia has been at least eating up to double disruption here, as we now re-summon another Spright Elf, but it's, I guess we have no play. What are we doing? Spright losing to Ice Barrier? Ain't no way. How did Ice Barrier win? Well, evenly match is how they won, and not getting a carrot onto the field. Got to get that carrot out. Evenly match is really popular now. I believe everyone's pretty much playing it. Now, the Medallion of the Ice Barrier has an alt art, which was not released with all the new Ice Barrier cards, so people are now going to be waiting for that. Let's speed this up. Just a bunch of level 2s. All right, let's go. So we do have the Mask Arena link off. We have the Caddy, which could go into a Herald of Arc Light. And let's get to it. Let's do it. We have Medallion, searching for our Revealer. We're going to be starting this off with an Agarine, which will on summon add an Ice Jade spell or trap from the deck to the hand, triggering the Caddy to search our deck for a penny, Now with the penny, we're going to be able to synchro summon whenever we want into that Herald of Arc Light. When do we do so? Going to be activating the Ice Jade manifestation. If you control a water monster, your opponent controls a monster on the field or in the graveyard, take an Ice Jade from your deck and special summon it. Okay, we're going into the Herald of Arc Light first. As this resolves, so we're not negating. Ice Jade Ran is here as we synchro Shokan into the Ice Jade Gamer. Ice Jade Gamer is going to be able to chain to any card effect and then banish that card, also protecting itself from being destroyed or being banished, and that protects all your monsters. But the Arclight can negate you attempting to banish the Masquerena, which is exactly what we're doing. Herald of Arclight, negate. But we have Called by the Grave. But we're in the main phase, so we could reborn our Herald of Arclight. What? We're not doing it? Main phase? We're not letting this resolve, are we? What? Am I missing something? Oh, it's not properly summoned, right? Is that why? It's not properly summoned? It was properly summoned. It's a level 4, right? Okay, wrong. I was thinking of the cross. Okay, so I was playing a lot of TCG where they were reborning the Herald of Arclight with the cross, and Elf obviously cannot do that. All right, thank you. All right, let's go. Goodbye to the Herald of Arclight. We have nothing to stop that. I was thinking of a cheat. Don't cheat. Goodbye to the Masquerena, chaining to it with the Ice Jade Gamer. Now Elf's going to be reborning the Beast, as we don't really have nothing left. That's it. The Ice Jade Gamer plus a Call by the Grave, which was enough to break the Spright fields. Now we have to be careful. If we activate anything, the Ice Jade Gamer is going to chain to the activation, banishing. We have Gamma Burst to boost up our field by plus 1400 attack, making our Elf activate to reborn. We're going to chain the Ice Jade Gamer to banish the Elf off the field, now making the Ice Jade protected from destruction and card effect removal. We're going to further Shokan this up into a gigantic Spright. It's not going to get the attack boost. It's only 1600. Some for the deck, a blue, as we can destroy the Ice Jade Gamer through battle with our Gamma Burst. Gamma Burst, but boost up the field, 3000 attack, enough to suicide. 2500 direct. Not sure why the red is in defense accidentally, maybe. Okay, maybe a misclick. We do have a monster negate and double finger. Evenly match off the top of the deck, and we're not going to even play that out. We are scooping. How do we have all this room? Ice Jade, Goatee, and Ice Barrier in the same deck. Well done, Emmanuel. Thank you. Let's hop in another match.